Welcome back from the weekend. Good Monday morning. You guys are watching the rest of the story. And if the sun wasn't in your way, you could see me. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the 4640 we got right here. My dad bought it back in 2014. We needed a tillage tractor at the time. Those of you that have been watching our channels know that that's when our farm auction went down and my grandpa's equipment went out the door and Dad needed something to do tillage with. And in his price range, I mean, he could have bought something a lot bigger, but he settled on a 4640. It's what he set out to buy, and he found a nice one at that. And believe it or not, it was actually a local-ish tractor. Local being it was from our local John Deere dealer, but those dealerships have all grown so big in size they have so many dealerships anymore. This is actually from Whitehall, Illinois. They brought it, well, they shipped it up here for us, for my dad to look at. It didn't take him very long to decide that he wanted it. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to find a place where the sun isn't going to blind you. There, how's that? All right, yeah, see, there. So, the first year we got it, this tractor did all of our tillage. So we did the first job we actually did with this tractor was chisel plowing. And it really does a great job at it. The tires were pretty well down to like 10 to 20% on it. Rear, inner ends and outer duals. Dad just replaced those 2 years ago. The local tire store, Tandem Tire, had a promotion going on, and Dad ended up buying the first set. And before we got to fall, we actually needed the duals. Then he bought the second set. This tractor actually does. It's been really reliable to us. We've had 2 issues with it that come to mind. The injector pump needed some work done to it. That happened after we were done using it that spring. After we got it, all we had to do, the dealership actually stood behind it, and they ended up sending it down and getting it worked on for us. I think all it cost us was purely just the time it took for the guy to take it off the tractor and put it back on, and it didn't take very long. The other thing that happened on it, which we think is a product of having more weight, because we actually have water on the inner tires, and then we put fresh tread on the rears, so it didn't allow the tractor to slip so easily, and it put more strain on the transmission. In fall of 2015, yep, I went to go start chisel plowing. Dropped the chisel plow on the ground, went 100 feet, and the floor in the cab jumped. What I ended up doing, I believe, it's not fresh in my memory right now, I think I took out one of the synchronizers. That sounds right. And we didn't see the tractor for the rest of the season. That year, the 8235 did all of our chisel plowing, which, if I had to choose between this and the 8235R, I would chisel with the 82. It's a lot more comfortable. It's got a lot more weight. The tractor does not give as easy as this tractor will, even with new tires and the weight in it. But other than that, it really does, for the most part, it does the lion's share of our chisel plowing. Last year, that T7 315 did 150 acres. That was mainly because we needed that tractor we wanted to use it for a little bit of everything. This tractor runs that 500 bushel easy trail grain cart of my dad's with ease. If we ended up getting another grain cart, a bigger cart, say an 800 or 1,000, to put on the 82, the 46, we would put that 600 bushel on this and run like that. We just have to watch how full we get it, because until you get comfortable with how an implement pulls behind a tractor, it's, err on the side of caution. And I say, out of all of us, Ryan and my dad like this tractor the most. I have nothing against it. It's just, as far as preference, I do prefer my 76 or the 8235. You see, you run this tractor for a while, it's got the same setup as my grandpa's 4440 did. It's got the quad range transmission, and the cab is set up the exact same way that my grandpa's was. But the problem is that when you go to chisel with it, or any field work at that for that matter, I sit in the seat at an angle, which all farmers do, right? It saves your neck. Well, by the time you run, let's face it, when I chisel plow, I usually end up chisel plowing for 12 to 16 hours at a shot, unless I'm trying to I'm chisel plowing between something else, you know. And when you start running for those extended amount of hours, I'm a tall guy, I'm 6'1", and my knees, when running like that, are up against the console for all the levers. This is my right knee gets sore by the end of the day. I'm usually limping once I get out of the tractor. So at the 82 and the 76, their seats actually swivel. There's more room in the cab. I'm less fatigued at the end of the day. This tractor, she does exactly what she's expected to do. She doesn't give any complaints. She runs great. When we got that 12-row corn planter, this has been our corn planter tractor ever since then. We will end up replacing it someday. We just got to get there, guys. Our farm's pretty young yet, but we will end up looking at getting something a little bit different, a little bit newer. Probably set for 30-inch rows. That's something that's been dinging us as far as planting. This is set for 38-inch rows, and I tell you what, we just can't. Yes, there would be an advantage to switching this or narrowing this tractor up, but it makes it a lot more tedious to manage when really we only want it for 30-inch rows just for planting, and then the rest of the time we'd want it kind of widened out. I like the wider stance on it. So a newer tractor like a 7250R, I would probably look at getting that set at 30-inch rows when we got it. But that's down the road for now. Oh, I did buy some iron. What it was or what it is, I can't tell you. But I did talk to the dealership about it. For those of you that follow my Instagram, I gave you a little bit of a hint of where it's coming from. Hopefully we'll see it this week. And hopefully no later than next week. I'm sure we'll probably see it before the farm day. But yeah, I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble with it. Depending on when we get it. So I got that to look forward to. You guys have that to look forward to. So I don't know what else you guys would like to know about the 4640. Leave it in the comments and I'll try to address them. We had some surprise visitors, some boys from Nebraska. Their dad, they were coming back on a family vacation. And one of the boys, I don't know how old they were. They're maybe 8 and 9 or 7 and 10 or 8. Sorry, I don't know what your guys' ages. But the one was asking me about the horsepower jump on the 46 and why we did it. The 46, when we first got it, was right around 220, 225. That's what it dynoed at when they brought it down. Then we had that injector issue. And when they brought it back, it wasn't putting out as much horse. They actually dialed it down from the, was it Dubuque Diesel or Diesel? I'm not sure who they sent it to. Someplace down in Iowa. But they actually turned it down. Well, it was noticeable compared to what it was able to do before it had the injector worked on it. So, a buddy of mine, he knows who he is, was down here last spring, and we were in the shed, and it's like, you know, what's it take to get another 25 horse to put that back on this 46? And he says, well, all you got to do is, and they showed us how to do this at college. It's been a while. Take this plate off and take a dime, loosen this nut, and give it a, and this is what I remember from school, but at school it was a quarter turn for 25 horse. But you have to, assuming that it hasn't been worked on, you have to give it like a half a turn to get it unseated. So what we ended up doing is we actually gave it a little over a third of a turn, right around a quarter after we unseated it. So it is putting out 225 horse now, probably 225, maybe 230 in that area. Depends on the day and how hard you really want to push it. So we aren't overly hard on our equipment. We just run them to the extent that they're expected to work. So that's how the 4640 ended up getting that horsepower boost. But with that, I actually have another video I want to go take real quick, and I gotta talk to you guys later. So take care, take it easy, keep in touch. Thank you for all of the congratulations and the wedding shout outs. Yes, we did get married Saturday night. I am very happy about that. I have no regrets on either of us as far as either of us are concerned, and I'm looking forward to the next eternity. As long as I can spend it with her. I'm gonna talk to you guys later.